5 to 6 reps. I'll do that in the off season, yeah, for like 16-week period, but it just depends on the body part as well. You know, usually getting ready for the Olympia prep, I mean, usually about 2 months out from my actual prep, which will be right around now. Usually training maybe 6 to 8 repetitions. So yes, I mean, I train for strength majority of the year leading up into the prep because I would like to start the prep already having a strong foundation. So then definitely taking, and actually this is good because I filmed an off-season DVD where what I was trying to explain to people was you need a foundation going into your contest prep. Basically stating a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle, but usually when you start your prep, you're not as strong. So then whatever I'm training, 6 to 8 repetitions, I should be able to do for 10 to 12 repetitions leading into my contest prep. And that's all because of the off-season training for strength. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I do train for strength, 6 to 8 repetitions.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yes.
Good stuff, okay. Another question right here in the middle. Maybe if you stand up, please. I'll get a microphone to you. There you go, Callum. Another lady. Fantastic. Got a good balance in this show, because you don't normally get...
I actually recognize this lady, I think. She was on my Twitter. Yeah.
Whoa!
I never forget a face.
This will be a treat. Here we go.
I've just got 2 questions.
Sure.
The first one is, what do you do in your spare time to relax and chill out?
Call of Duty, Guitar Hero. Well, yeah, actually I do play those. In my spare time, honestly, I don't have a whole lot of it. Normally my spare time would be on the plane, coming over here, or being in a hotel room, being jet lagged out of my mind, and maybe reading a book on the iPad, or answering fan mail. I don't have a whole lot, or I guess the one thing I like to do is I get off a flight, and you'll agree to this, get in my Bentley and drive as fast as I can. Windows rolled down, turn the phone off, and pray to God I don't get caught by the police. Normally that's like my favorite thing to do. That obviously doesn't last more than 30 minutes, is to go for a nice drive and just forget about everything and just tune out to the world, because I mean, quite frankly, I give a lot of myself to the fans, and I give a lot of myself to everybody else, but I need to have some me time. So usually it's just in the car, revving it up, you know, burning up tires, and then yeah, that's pretty much it.
Second question is, who do you think is your biggest threat for Miss Olympia this year?
I would probably say myself from last year. I mean, I'm being dead serious, because I won with perfect score last year, and I don't want to piss anybody off, but I don't really hone in on one individual, because that person wasn't better than me, you know, last year. It would be different if I lost last year. You know, I kind of look at it like from a business. If you're a #1 business, why do I care about the 2nd or 3rd place business? Right? If you guys own a business, would you really care about the 2nd and 3rd place business, what they're doing to be successful? You're not going to think about that. You're going to think about what you can be better at. So I'm not really looking at my rearview mirror right now. I'm looking forward, and I hope that I can just improve. When I see a threat, they're all threats. Branch Warren's a threat. Jay Cutler's a threat. Kai Green's a threat. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm the best in the world, and if I can improve on last year's appearance, my question for you guys would be, if I can improve on my perfect score from last year, if I improve, will I put myself in the best chance to win? The answer probably would be yes. So that's my goal. That's my competition. I will take my photos from, and I get pretty methodical about this, I will take a photo from week 16 up until 3 days out from last year's Olympia, and I will Photoshop a photo of myself next to that one with weight and the time of day, what I ate, what I trained, all up until the show. So last year's Olympia, I used 16 weeks out from 2010, and I compared them both, and I was like, wow, actually, okay, they look about the same. But as the weeks got bigger, closer, I started seeing more size in different body parts. And I was like, okay, so now I'm actually beating that guy. I'm beating myself. So now I'm going to be doing the same thing, because if I can beat myself from last year, I don't see anyone that's going to beat me ever.
That's what we want to hear, isn't it? Is that not what we want to hear?
No, you know what they want to hear? This is the question. This is what they want to hear. They want to hear me say, who's my biggest competition? Branch Warren or Kai Green. They want to see this because, see, I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to you. So this is what fans want to hear, because they want to hear the excitement, they want to hear the hype, so they can go on the chat room and talk shit and say that, oh, Phil Heath called this guy out and said this. No. At the end of the day, you know, I'm very confident about my ability. I mean, I should be, because I'm the best. They should be talking about me, not going to talk about them, because I already know who they are, but they know who I am.
That's what you just said a minute ago. It's about retaining and winning Mr. Olympia. It's not about beating the competition. No. You said that before.
Yeah, I mean, it is a fair question to ask. I mean, it's a fair question, and I appreciate you asking it, but I say it in all due respect to every athlete. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm on the top. I'm not, and I'm looking down, knowing that they're trying to climb up. But it's my job to be better than I was the previous day, the previous week, month, and year. And if I can do that, I put myself in the best position to win number 2, and win number 3, and 4, and 5, and 6.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
But seriously speaking, I mean, my job is just to be better than I was the previous day. That's all I can control. And if someone beats me, that means that son of a is going to be the best of all time, because I'm going to be working extremely hard to be the best of all time.
That's what we want to hear. Now, we've got time for one more question, because Phil's on a real busy schedule, and you can imagine. Well, Phil, do you know something? I'm going to let you, if you've got a question, please put your hand up right now, everybody, whoever it is. Phil, I'm going to let you choose, because I keep picking people for you. You choose who you want to answer to.
I'm going to be mean right now to him, and I'm going to take 2 questions.
Okay.
You all the way in the back. We haven't had one. All right. Yeah, all the way in the back.
Hi, Phil. On various been to chat rooms and stuff like that. I spend a bit of time reading the forums and whatnot. I've read that you don't actually train arms because they grow too well. Is that the case?
That's pretty accurate, actually. Now, did I get them this way, you know, by training them a lot? Yeah. But I got to a point in 2010, it was right after the Arnold Classic, and I realized that I was training them every week, and they were just way too massive compared to the improvements that I was making on other body parts. I was trying to become the most complete bodybuilder, and it was a strength of mine that was getting way too much attention. Everybody's like, oh, his arms are just so good. And I thought, well, wait a minute. I've improved on my back, my legs, my chest, my shoulders. But every upper body part was getting not as much attention due to the fact that these were just very, very good. So I thought, well, what's the point of having 23-inch bicep, 23-inch arm? You know, 22, 21-inch arm is awesome. So I actually started, and it was actually my trainer, Honey Ramba, that told me, he said, don't train arms until, it was the 2010 Mr. Olympia prep. He said, we're going to do something different. Don't train them until 3 weeks out. I'm like, are you freaking crazy? I hung up the phone on him. I hung the phone up. I said, and I called him back and I said, dude, you're out of your mind. He said, trust me, because you're going to train your delts twice a week. You're going to make these delts so huge. You're going to make your chest bigger, that now everything's going to fall into place. So it would be like a guy like Branch Warren who just tore his leg. You know what? He still had enough muscle on his leg to where you wouldn't even notice, right? So obviously it didn't hurt him very much. Me training arms maybe once a month ain't going to really hurt my physique. So I was willing to do that, and it actually paid off dividends. Now, you know, would I tell everybody else to do that? No. But that's where the whole thing called genetics play a role and all this other stuff.
He's nodding. Right, sir, another one?
The lady in the back, yeah. Yeah, you, yeah.
Hello. What I'd like to know is, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
I have to say that's a first.
Superpower.
You got 5 minutes, hang on.
Can I have two? I would love to fly. And I would love to, well, I always think, and I actually think of this sometimes, I would love to be able to teleport myself into different periods of time. Because...
Forward or back?
See, I would probably say back. Because if I saw something forward that I didn't like, I mean, it would crush me.
Crap, yeah.
It would crush me, and I would hate to change, history and all that.
And where would you go if it was... Sorry, I've nicked your question, Phantom. Sorry.
Do I get to stay this size?
Whatever size.
Oh, cool. So yeah, if I get to fly being this size and I get to go back in time, man, that means I get to go against Arnold and see where I'm getting at now? Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't care about the future because I may not be able to beat that guy.
I'm kind of thinking about the future because you majored in computer science at college.
Yeah.
Don't you want to see what's happening ahead?
That may scare the hell out of me though. That's the problem. It may be Armageddon, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to, I may look at it real quick and say, oh hell no, get me back.
It'd be great to look back and see your Bentley as an old antique car.
Yeah,
That was pissed off. That was proper pissed off.
Yeah. It'd be like Star Trek, right? Yeah, okay, all right. I don't want to see any freaking aliens though, man. Like, I'd probably scare the hell out of me. So no, I want to go back in time. I would love to be able to bodybuild against all the greats. I would love to be able to see the world at the same time. To see what the world looked like in different parts of history. I mean, some of it would be very, very sad, but some of it would be actually pretty pleasant. I'd like to go back in time when we didn't have even Facebook and Twitter and all this other stuff. I'd like to see like how yeah, I'm on Twitter a lot, but I mean, gosh, like, I would like to see as an adult what it looked like, 200 years ago, 500 years ago in different parts of the world.
Right, I'm going to be really cheeky. I really need a photograph of you, and our mate Danny Mac said he'll give you, name your price on your energy bands and we'll buy it off you.
All right.
You're right, it was cheeky. Well done though, for being cheeky.
Yes, but you have to be forward.
Good stuff, okay, thank you. Do you want to try and squeeze one more question in and then
we'll do one more. We'll do one more.
Again, you choose. Phil.
I'm going to go with the guy in the blue shirt and all the way in the back. I got to show the guys in the back some love. Plus, he's sitting next to a guy that's pretty massive, so. Go, Callum, go.
Right, well, you've obviously proven that you're the best in the world. What improvements are you going to make in yourself for this year?
I don't...
Body power in particular.
Body part? I'd probably say the same as always, making sure that I would like to work on my hamstrings a little bit more, calves a little bit more, and chest. I think with my off-season, the way it's been going, I mean, those are areas that I'd like to key in on, especially for this prep. But really everything except arms. I think what's going to end up happening for my prep this year, I'll probably end up training different parts twice a week. I'll probably train legs twice a week. I'll probably train back twice a week at some point. And then maybe going into the show, seeing how I look. Because as you deplete, certain body parts don't stay full, so you got to figure out how much muscle you really do carry. Once you lose a lot of water and body fat, you'll start to see your strengths and weaknesses. So up until I probably say 5 weeks out, I'll probably have a good idea as to what I need to, train harder and more frequent. But I'd probably say usually legs for me would be something I'd like to focus on toward the end of it, because I usually get striated, pretty early. But I'd like to keep the roundness and the size, along with it, because I really want to show you guys something you have never seen before. So I really want to be at a higher weight, because last year I was 247 on Friday and then 243 on Saturday. So I'd like to maybe be 247 on Saturday, and maybe in the 250s on Friday, but still keep the waist, pretty tight. I'd like to bring it in maybe another ½ inch if I could, because I'd make the other guys look very blocky, very out of proportion, if I could do that. So I'll be using a lot of different, I can't share that secret, but I'll be doing a lot of different breathing exercises, a lot of different ab exercises to get that shrunken down, and God willing, I'll be able to do it.